Now to other news. And when we think of the dangers of the tobacco industry, the mind immediately turns to the risks to people's health. But the industry is also one of the world's biggest polluters. According to a World Health Organization report, it's everything from leaving mountains of waste to driving global warming. The WHO accusing the industry of causing widespread deforestation, diverted badly needed land and water in poor countries away from food production, as well as emitting millions of tonnes of carbon dioxide. On World No Tobacco Day, the UN body is calling for the tobacco industry to be held to account and foot the bill for the clean-up. Joining me now from Geneva is Dr. Kerstin Schotte from the WHO. Dr. Schotte, thank you very much for your time. This WHO report offers up some extraordinary findings about the tobacco industry's environmental impact. Just take us through some of those key points.
Yes, thank you. So we think as WHO, we have been quite successful in the last 40 years or so to communicate to the public the health impact of tobacco. And this year for World No Tobacco Day, we really want to sensitize our audience to the environmental impact of tobacco. It doesn't only cost us 8 million lives each year, but also 600 million trees, 200,000 hectares of land that is cleared each year, 84 million tons of CO2, and 22 billion tons of water. So tobacco is not only poisoning our health, but it's poisoning our planet. And we want to take the tobacco industry accountable for these damages, and we want to make the tobacco industry pay for all the litter that is found on our beaches, on our streets every year. 4.5 trillion cigarette butts are littered into the environment each year.
Now, the WHO is calling on the industry to foot the bill to clean up the mess it causes. So how exactly can that be done?
Yeah, just to give you some idea on the numbers of what we're talking about, we have estimated the costs of cleaning up littered tobacco products that usually fall on the taxpayers. So to give you some idea, for example, in China, it costs roughly 2.6 billion US dollars to clean up these costs. In India, roughly $766 million. And Brazil and Germany, we have estimates for about 200 million US dollars. So usually the taxpayer pays for these. In France, there is a new extended producer responsibility policy where the tobacco industry is billed for these costs, where the tobacco industry is paying amounts, and then these can be used for cleanup and also for sensitizing the public about tobacco use litter. And what we really want to do is tobacco users to stop using tobacco products, because in the end, it's one thing that the tobacco industry will pay for this cleanup, but this is not our end goal. Our end goal is that there will be less tobacco use in the world, so that less tobacco is also produced, because that also causes a lot of environmental damage.
And in terms of the tobacco industry itself, we know that smoking in the developed nations is losing its popularity, but that doesn't appear to be the case in the global south, does it?
That's right. So in low and middle income countries, we see that the trends of tobacco use is not declining as steeply as we see in Northern America and Western Europe. In Western Europe, we still see also trends that are quite stable in women, but in men it's declining a lot in North America and Western Europe. And we would like to see these trends also in low and middle income countries. And what countries and governments can do is to reduce tobacco use, is create smoke-free public places, have bans on advertising and large warning labels, and most efficiently increase the price for tobacco products by taxation. And that also increases revenues for governments that they can use again for tobacco prevention measures.